Hello everyone, and welcome to today's Talk to Our Expert program. I'm David Breslauer. Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to talk about what's upcoming in Merlin 5.5. We've got so many new things to talk about for 5.5. It takes more than one screen to capture them. Here's the first batch. First off, we've removed the upload file size limit. This means that you can upload practically any file size you would like to do through the web browser interface. As part of that upload process, you can create a new collection from the web upload form, which streamlines that process. And speaking of collections, you can drag content directly into a collection folder, and that process will create a new collection that you will be able to name right away. There is a new approval workflow and dashboard. This is our first iteration of the approval workflow and the dashboard that goes with it, and we expect the dashboard functionality to grow quite a bit going forward. Comment emails are sent to all users that are part of the commenting thread. That's new. And we've got some great new enhancements for mobile Merlin. So using your web browser on your tablet or your phone, you'll be able to not only download content into your local device, you'll also be able to share content by emailing links to other people or posting from Merlin directly to social media. Also new, the ability to have search updates have the search update results update automatically. So if you change the type button and, for example, eliminate video and audio, it will automatically recreate your search results and you don't have to go in and do that manually. Just another way to reduce a mouse click. We've given MerlinOne staff the ability to hide items in your options area. So if you want to streamline the interface for your users, we can actually remove content from the options area. We've also made it so that a user remains logged in as long as the browser is active. We have some additional display options that I'll show you. Lots of little tiny UI adjustments to improve the interface and some improved reports. So why don't we take a look at what's new with Merlin 5.5. By the way, I'm sure one of the next questions I would get is when is 5.5 available? And I really can't say. It's just beginning the QA process, and I would expect it out sometime around the end of the third quarter, but again, I make no promises on that at this point. It's too early. Okay, so let's start with the upload form. So here I'm logged into one of my demo servers. I'm going to use the upload form. And notice we've removed the text in the upper right-hand side of the upload form that tells you there's a file size limitation. And of course, because we've eliminated the text, that means we've also eliminated the file size restrictions as well. So you can upload files of any file size you want. Actually, there is a practical limitation of 1 terabyte. I'm not sure I would want to wait around for someone to upload a terabyte worth of files, a terabyte file rather. But each file can be any size you need it to be as long as it's no larger than a terabyte. Okay. While we're here in the upload form, let's talk about something else we've added. In the Add to Collection line of the upload form, not only can you add to any existing collection, that's not new, you can create a new collection directly from here. So for example, if I wanted to create a private collection, I click the plus button, and I'm going to call this New Collection for Demo. And I'm going to set that. And you can see I've got my one collection is already selected here, so any files I upload will automatically get added to that collection as part of the upload process. Let's talk a little bit more about collections here. Let me refresh that so you can see the new collection that we created. Something else that we've done that's related to collections, I'm going to highlight a second item, so I've got 2 items highlighted now. And I'm going to drag them to private, and you can see it's created a brand new collection. It's got 2 items in it, the 2 items I just dragged in there. The collection is untitled and it's waiting for me to name the collection. And once I've done that, I'm done. So again, I'm reducing mouse strokes, mouse clicks. So that's a really good thing. All right, let's talk about our new approval workflow. And our new approval workflow applies both to individual items and to collections. And let's start out by talking about individual items. So let's say I've got this picture, and we'll make it large just for fun. We'd like to get approval to use this picture. And so in my metadata palette, I have a new icon called Approvals. It's the thumbs up icon. And clicking that allows me to create an approval. So I can add a description. Please approve for magazine use. You can add a deadline, so I'm going to set the deadline to be Friday. You can add a time as well. I'd like this by 4:30. And you can add a reviewer from the list of reviewers. And the people that show up in this list of reviewers, they are people that have reviewer privileges. So as part of their user group membership, you make one of the privileges or entitlements for that group the ability to review content. So I'm going to save that. Okay, and now I'm just going to escape out of it. And let's go take a look at what we've done here. So I can actually go into my dashboard and see that I've got these items that I've requested approval on, and this particular item that we just created, you watched me create that, it's pending. I assigned it to myself, which is why I see it. These were all assigned to somebody else. And so now I can actually go in and change the status of this, and I can say, yeah, this is approved, and run it 3 columns, for example. Okay, and send that. And so everybody that's part of this approval process would get an email letting them know what's happened. And also this particular item would now show up as approved. So let's refresh it. And notice it's the thumbs up icon has turned green, indicating it's been approved. If it was waiting for approval or had been rejected, the icon would turn red. You can do the same thing with a collection. So if I've got this collection here with these 2 items in it, and again, I'd like to send it off to be approved, I can click my approval tool here at the bottom of the collections palette. And again, I can add an approval, add the information here, and save it, and the icon will change color. Okay, so I've got both the same icon, both in my metadata palette, that's for an individual item approval, and in my collections palette, that's to get an entire collection considered for approval. So that's something that's new, and it's pretty cool and useful. One thing that I'm not going to be able to show you, but I thought I would just mention it, there's really not much of a reason to show it, is the improvements to the mobile Merlin web client. So if you're on your phone or your tablet and you're using a web browser to access Merlin, you would be able to download content to your local tablet or device, so it would show up in the local library there, or you'd be able to share it, and those functions work just like I'm showing you here. So I could email a link to somebody, or send a contact sheet, or post something to Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. So again, in the mobile client, you would select one or more items, and you would be able to download them or share them with other individuals, all from your mobile platform. Something else that's new, let's go ahead and refresh my search, and let's search for everything in this system. Okay, so I'm searching for everything. It's a small system. This system only has 2,000 records in it. It's used for testing software. One of the things that's new is if I highlight or unhighlight certain types of content. So for example, if I say, well, I don't want photos selected anymore, I just deselect photos, and without touching the keyboard, the screen will automatically refresh and show you everything that's now part of the new search that you've created. So instead of having photos now, I'm getting audio and video and other types of documents. Okay, so that all happened automatically. If I click photos again, it's going to refresh the search in a moment and show me everything. And there we go. Something else that's new, with the assistance of MerlinOne customer service, we can go in and disable any of the items that you see in the options area. So if you don't want your users to be able to create their own profile, or you don't want them to set their grid thumb size view, those items may be disabled by MerlinOne customer service, and these would be for items that you can't disable by permissions in a user group. So for example, permissions in a user group would allow you to set a theme. That's one of the permissions in the user group, and that can be turned off there. But seeing notifications is always here, and downloading the manual is always here. If you want to remove those things, MerlinOne customer service is able to do that. Okay, that came about as a customer request. Something else that's new, Merlin keeps you logged in. So even though I've closed my browser window, I haven't quit my browser. So when I open my browser window back up and I go back to Merlin, it doesn't take me to the login screen. It caches the fact that I'm already logged in and I don't have to log in again. So that's, again, something else to streamline your access to Merlin and reduce frustrations for your users. One thing that's new in the admin area, if I go to administration, I can go to the display area, and this is new. You can choose or select the gallery text that appears below your content, and same thing with the date. So for my gallery text field, I can choose any field I want to display beneath the pictures. So instead of displaying the object name, the file name of the item, I can choose any field I want. Same thing with the dates. If I want to change the date that's displayed under there, you can see currently it's displaying the date created. I can change it to one of these other dates in any date field that your Merlin system has. So even if you have custom date fields created, for example, I have this custom date field, performance date, you can choose to have that displayed as well. So anything that's a legitimate date field is selectable from this interface. So that's something that's new as well. And one more thing, something else that's new, the thesaurus now allows you to create multi-word parents. Previously in Merlin, the thesaurus could only create parent words that were single words, which made it hard to deal with some acronyms. And so now the thesaurus allows you to have multi-word parents as well. So either the child or the parent words in the thesaurus can be multi-word. Well, thank you, everybody. I look forward to seeing you in a month. That's all for now.